All right, Colby, thank you for being patient and for all the delay on sending the match. But here we go. We've got second map Inferno.
Relax. Look, I'm fine playing terrorist side as well. Well, let's see. Let's see what they have there in their mind.
I don't respond.
And I have a kids on a CT side. Red has one pair. Nobody else by kids.
I pull. Save now.
Good.
Tama,
Let's see what
pre-flash,
happens in the middle.
I'm just gonna pre-flash that you don't know.
Okay, so the first thing that I want to point out is, well, I think for a really good setup is first spawn goes into window, and then just jiggle peeks window, and you get information if there's anyone pushing up alternate mid. Second spawn can peek down mid to see if they're, or the first spawn can actually see if they're going banana. So the first spawn jumps across, spots it. Second guy, if you want, you can kind of challenge down mid because you have USPs, but it's still kind of a dangerous fight because you could get isolated. But see here, this player flashes down alternate mid. This player peeks down by himself, and it just doesn't seem like you guys are playing together. So I would say just a general setup. First guy jump across, spot for banana rush, jump, peek window. Second guy, I don't think you should really peek down here because you have a really late spawn. And if they rush mid, they could catch you. I think second spawn should be more over here on this angle and spotting down. And then third spawn, if you want, you could go to hall or you could stay middle with the flash primed. So if they rush middle, so let's say you're third spawn, you're back here, you have a flash primed, so you could flash mid and help your teammates.
They boost USP.
Tiram.
Okay, so I like this play. I like spotting for info.
Yeah, they're middle. They're pushing.
Hey, that's you.
It might be a fake.
I would still like for you to be end of hall right here. I don't think you should focus your attention on mid because one, your teammates already watching it, and two, now you lost the timing where if they push up hall, they can get really close on you. So I would have liked for you to stay here, watch in the hall, get info, and then if you want, if you get overran, you could fall back, or it's just nice to have that info here because we're down 4-on-5.
Could be a fake.
So see, like right now, this whole time they could be pushing you into hall, and then you'll be caught off guard right now.
I'm flashing now. He's see.
I don't not no utilities. We have to play.
Banana.
Also, what's good for this position, I guess it's fine, but it's, you know, you're really exposed here. So what you could do is you can stand on the rail. So see this rail here? If you stand on it behind you, you can shoot and at least you can fall back into pit. But from here, you're kind of stuck. So the only way you could go is left. You can't back up into the pit.
Be close.
I knew they're gonna fake it.
Okay, so here you're just going for kills.
Okay. Now they play slow, Okay.
Told you they might fake it. Kill one from here, throw some shit, and fake it. Very standard. We're just getting read on them now. Let's throw stack A. A stack. Go hide A. I'm gonna join you guys soon. I'm just gonna make sure that they think that at least we have some here.
They don't want it.
I'm going to fast forward a little bit. They're running slow default.
1 year. They shot coming.
See something. B.
Nice kill. That's a good kill.
3 grenades from B and then stack A again. 3 grenades from B. So MSI by grenade, red by grenade, me, and then we go back to A. Everybody.
Okay, 2 nades window. 3 nades. They might be rushing you now because they heard the nades banana.
Middle already.
I'm boosting one here. Who's behind me?
Middle close.
I'm blind.
Nice kill. At least 2 more haul.
They made.
Hey, I think they switch. Go B. Go B quickly.
One still, mid.
I think you should
Yeah.
boost with your teammate right there.
Now running back to banana.
Banana close.
Hold here.
One banana.
Yeah, I think you just play patient there because you have numbers 5 on 4 and you force them to come into you. So I would have liked for you to just head stack with your teammate here, do a boost, and just, you know, hopefully they push into you.
One
Yeah,
banana.
We can be now aggressive. If you guys want to do the aggressive thing, we can do that.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to B.
I smoke mid.
Colby, you go to window. I will throw the flash over. And who is behind me? MSI behind me.
One slow in the middle.
Wait, I haven't seen flash. I'm flashing now. Flashing.
Wow, they have 4 there. Let me just,
I'm flashing now. Flashing.
okay.
Wait.
So maybe, I don't think you needed this flash right here. I think that delayed you maybe 1 second or half second. And because of that, you weren't able to peek fast enough. It sounded like your teammate had already flashed for you. Somewhere in front of window.
Wait, I haven't seen flash.
So see right there, you had to wait there for a second. And that second costed you at least 1 kill. And your teammate was already flashing here, so you should just gun out.
I'm flashing.
Yeah, so right there, see your teammate flashed? They're really blind. So if you would have got out here 1 second earlier, you would at least kill this guy and then maybe another one. Yeah. Yeah, and there, I like the strat. I think you should just peek though. First guy should just peek.
To save this guy. Second.
Nice.
Okay, we're gonna play passive now. Play passive.
Equalizer.
These guys fake all the time. It's been nothing but fakes, right?
Yep. Banana, one flash.
Oops.
Wait.
Actually, I don't want to draw. I want you to draw.
Second.
I think they boost.
Yeah, they both. So half two.
A shot two. One middle, in jungle.
Even if we know that they are boosting, it doesn't mean that we need to go and peek them, by the way. Just saying. When we play passive, it means let them come. I'm just, when I say that they boosting, just acknowledge that they come from the door. That's it. We
They have an op, so we need to be careful here peeking that.
I can flash.
Nice, fine.
Yeah, good job falling back.
Okay. It's tough. Because it's opping, you know. It's tough. Reloading.
Colby, come here. I'm boosting you here.
Under smoke and
They have mid. Close, close. They're close now. Mid.
They
have-
might still
they have
switch,
jung-
guys.
They have jungle.
Nice reposition.
info.
Oh, nice try.
It's a
Nice try. You should have. I'm surprised you didn't get that second kill. I would have liked you. So that was a good reposition. I'm just gonna rewind here. So you got the first kill. The second kill I think you should have got. But right here, I think you can. I thought you could peek through this if you swung all the way to the right hand side. I'm not sure. I forgot the angles, but I would have rather you peeked on the right hand side if there's an angle. If not, so right here, the reload's about to finish, and you have the peak timing peak, right? So right here, see how you moved forward before your reload, and you moved out a little too far. Like you didn't need to push out that far. All you needed to do was strafe left. So right here, reload, reload. Yeah, so I did see a little bit of angle to the right, but here you got to time your reload, and then as soon as it finished, you just need to peek a little bit. You just peeked a little bit too far. I know you wanted to help your teammate, but in this case, you need to play for yourself now. Yeah. So just a little bit of overpeak.
Everywhere inside.
Yeah, last time.
AVP.
Drop you farm us. Oh, somebody dropped.
Will do.
I go with you already.
Oh, 3 grenades from B. 3 grenades. 3 grenades. 3. Come throw 3 grenades and then 2 go immediately A.
One out there. He's slow. Nice. 150.
Don't die there. Oh, you push them.
Simon, the
Found them.
yeah, the other
Pushing is not good. If you can get back now, get back. Do not die.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, it's a good setup.
Oh my god. Oof. Heavy killet.
Oh yeah, dah. Peti. Boleh.
They go in B or one.
No
He's too
sound, no
quiet.
sound.
He's too quiet.
So here, we have a 4-on-3. There's 44 seconds. The map's quiet. We don't know what they're doing. So now there's two different options you could do. One is the hall player here. He could push up and get information. And if he pushes and it's clear, then we can over rotate B and we have the advantage. If your teammate here pushes and he dies, well, he gets the info that they're coming A. And in that case, I think it's still fine because we still have 2 players A and we still have 2 players here. If there was 2 players A and 2 players B, I wouldn't want this A player to push. So does that make sense? So because we have the number advantage here, we're oversecking A. Hall player can push, get info. This would be a good, so around 40 seconds, 35 seconds, this would be a great time for us to get that hall push info.
Could be anywhere. I'm gonna come. I'm not holding CT side now in A, by the way.
Play far.
So your hall player should not have rotated. This was a bad rotate. Your hall player should have stayed pit or somewhere like end of hall. Because now you're in a bad position. So, yeah, that was not a good rotate for your hall player. So now see if they come hall or up mid, we're kind of out of position. And we give them a lot of the site for free. So yeah, so good job. You,
It's B.
okay. That are going B. Nice. 15 seconds.
Support drop. Last no info.
Ini AK. I drop you.
Let's be aggressive with the a second mid now.
I
I'm
push
go-
banana.
Colby, we're gonna drop the smokes in the middle. Smokes in the middle. Colby, rush in the window.
I'm blinded.
They rush mid rush.
Oh, wow, they threw some good flashes. I didn't like that call, the aggro push alternate mid. Because it didn't work last time, and you guys just won the last round playing defensively, so I don't think that was a good call. Also, it kind of makes it predictable that you're pushing alternate mid if two of you are double smoking down mid. It's just like, you know, if you're smoking mid every round on CT, if you're throwing that same smoke, then it looks like it's normal on the T. But then all of a sudden you're throwing smokes down mid, it makes it really suspicious. T's are like, smoke mid, watch out, watch for push. Does that make sense? So we call that conditioning, where we condition them, or if we just throw the same smoke, the mid push smoke, or sorry, the alternate smoke, we throw that every round, and then we throw in the alternate push, then, you know, then it's that's the best way to condition teams.
Jesus.
Is the
That
mid
was
rush?
counter what we were doing.
Library taken. Library taken. Library taken.
Oh my god, how bad timing for us. It's just bad timing, nothing else.
Are we buying? Buy?
I bought D. I bought D.
Okay, hold passive this one once again. No fancy stuff. If we didn't do fancy stuff on that round, we would most likely win it. Okay, then we go with the B. Whoever it was
Oh,
there.
Phonics. 3 phonics. They're just nading and then not PK. No, they didn't get.
The one eco round that I really like is doing a crossfire middle. So you have two people right here. You could head boost and stack really close. And then you have maybe one or two on the other side. So you have one kind of holding window and the other one ready to peek window. And then the fifth person here has a flash out. And then you have a timing flash. So if you hear them mid, you would flash here mid. And then we would swing mid and we would try to catch them. I really like that. It's a really good eco strat. So like right now, it sounds like they're really taking mid, right? So this is when you would throw your flash right here, and then we would catch them on that timing.
What the
Oh,
fuck?
he hit you.
One F.
Yeah, can more back.
One F. Ah, I died.
Still gonna switch. Because we can. I need to. We need to eco this one.
I'm gonna drop Deagle
We don't.
now.
No,
Alright.
I already buy.
Then okay, let's do the hey. Rush second mid. Do the second mid thing now.
I don't like this call.
Here.
I don't like this call, especially because we don't have armor. And they've been nading window every round. So this is another forced strat I don't like. Yeah, so see, if we throw down smokes, they know we're mid pushing. Plus they've been nading mid and window every round.
Yeah.
But they don't know we are about to do. That's luck. That's pure luck if that happens. We need to do one eco round here. Like those guys who have 5,000 by eagles for us.
There's already 4 on the floor. Get it. Banana needs it in. Three banana. One more probably. Nice. C4 is at banana.
Nice, those were good kills.
I have
Inside. Let's try. Almost.
passive hold now because these guys, like like when they go somewhere, they don't really go there. Like they just stay there and switch.
How many opening man? B.
That means we need to play very passive against them. Okay, I'm gonna go B then. Passive means that you guys don't go key, just hold your positions, and when they do some moves, still nobody moves.
So that eco round when we were here in alternate mid, they threw one flash up mid, and then they threw another flash up mid, and they took it. So you got to try to remember, previous rounds, what information they give us, so we can pick up patterns. So I'm curious to see if they throw one flash, then wait a few seconds, they'll throw a second flash, and then they take mid.
Second mid too.
So I heard a footstep there.
And this does not mean that
I
they're
think
gonna be.
I think that
Could be up mid, careful. Yep, can keep a crosser there.
kalau flash aku mati.
Yeah, this is a good fallback because it's a 5-on-4.
Smoke mid.
Ah, jom. That's one.
Ciao.
Just hold passive, don't do nothing. Everybody just keep holding your positions.
Oh, X. That's one.
And still hold your positions.
You should position into sight here. So this is too aggressive. Because right now you're exposed to this angle and Hall. You should reposition in the sight and more here towards the right side. If you had to put your right elbow against this right wall in the sight, that would have been a much better angle. Because right now you're making footsteps and I think you're so exposed. I feel like someone's about to peek you right here.
That's two.
Yep, so here, that was a good reposition. So you should have done that in the first place. So instead of going
And still
forward here, you should have gone right here.
hold your positions.
So right here, yeah. So you should have gone behind that box instead of forward.
That's two.
Right here, your teammate is probably watching apps. So this is where you guys need to communicate. Because like, there's three positions open. There's lane here, there's hall, and then there's right side mid. So you need to tell your teammate, if he's watching hall, then you can watch down here. And if he's watching CT, then you need to watch both positions.
Do you think that we need to come? Because
No. Ho.
If your teammate had a flash right here, you could clear lane. This would be really good to get information here.
30 seconds.
CT side. Hey guys, is CT can they come from the CT side or not?
No. City is me. You go B.
B
Go
flash.
B. I'm looking for library.
Yeah, coming B.
Yeah, so I heard you there. You asked if he had a flash or not, so that's good.
Bomb here. Last two here.
But instead of asking if he has a flash, say, can you flash lane? Can you flash lane? And then that's much better, because if you say, do you have a flash? And then he says yes, then you have to say, can you flash lane? So that's extra communication that you could just skip if you just go straight to what you want him to do, what you want him to flash.
Here. Planting now.
Wrong side.
4.
Okay, so you should have your gun out here, and you need to go for kills.
That's what I mean. Like you see, they kill somebody from A, they still can B. That's what I mean. Like these guys need to have like very passive hold all the times. Bite eagles. We need rounds. Make sure that you have money next round.
Wait, I dropped nigga.
man coming B.
Ah, he's set. B taken.
I think one mid. Still holding.
Yeah, I'm just gonna skip ahead since the eco. I feel like these eco rounds, you guys could play more with each other. Feels like you guys are just doing your own thing. So like that round, someone was kind of mid or window, you're watching hall. I think you could do more head stacks or more crossfires or, you know, traps. So I could show you some setups after this though. But even though it's an eco round, you could still win them and still do a lot of eco damage and get kills. And you have a much better chance to do that if you play together, especially because you have pistols.
Middle. This one.
Yeah, yeah. I should.
Game name, passive hold.
If we're playing fast, I need my flash.
There, mid, mid. Metal.
Remember, when they kill somebody, it doesn't still mean nothing. Okay, now it might mean something.
Okay, so that round, it sounded like they did a fast mid strat, and a red flag there was that they threw pretty much 4 or 5 nades up mid, and that's the first time they did that. So, if I know there's, you know, 4 or 5 nades mid and there's 4 or 5 T ramp, then I don't really need to watch alternate window or worry about hall. So, I hear 4 or 5 nades mid, and it's like, what's going on? That's something different. So, definitely should counter something mid with a flash or a smoke or something because we know there's like 5 there.
I think we honestly need to save these guns. For our last round, we need guns.
One more city.
Fuck.
Pushing. Should just play normal. I don't have smoke. Anyone can smoke middle.
Double, double.
Helpful for AVP and MSI.
No, no.
Middle one loading. Close. Just city arch.
I'm city. They have mid, huh?
Fuck. Middle and house. They pushing A. Pushing A.
Arch Kobe one.
I think it's A. It is A. Coming A. Pit 2. 2 in the pit. 2 in the pit.
Oh, three.
Bad then.
Okay, so yeah, I think on A, I'll just show you after this. I'll show you some setups.
Follow me.
But I just felt like you guys weren't playing together. Also, we gave them middle every single round. We didn't challenge mid one time. And we just gave them too much space and they were too comfortable. And they took mid and alternate and also hall like just a little too easy. So anyways, I'll show you some setups.
Follow me on this run. Let's do the standard what we did the last time. No US.
Where?
Speak to someone else. Okay, everybody follow then MSI in the first, but
Middle spotter. He went to boiler. Janedi second. Boiler one die low.
get back back from here. Get back from here.
What do you mean? Boiler low, guys. Boiler low.
Go second mid back. Second mid. Oh no, go from middle. Fuck. Supposed to go from second. Six. Cannot eco. We need to buy. It is Deagles, and I'd say we need to get to their face. So don't go second mid, but like go from this stairs. Go here. And we need to be like in a spots where we can get in their face. Don't let them use range against you. Yeah, guns go slow, yeah. Slow is good. Banana is challenging.
I think we don't have flash
I have.
to go pick.
Wait. I will.
No.
Can't see shit.
Two more coming.
Banana push.
CT side.
Oh, blind lama.
Who got?
Damn it.
Yeah, you.
Lama.
Okay.
That's
I'm gonna go ahead and. So I don't have 1.6, but I'll show you in Counter-Strike 2. Show you some CT side setups.
Let's move out. Move it.
Okay, so good setup so that okay, so this flash is really strong from right side mid. So you need to find one that pops up perfectly. So remember I talked about that setup. So this would be the eco round. So you could have one person here, another person boosted, and then you can have one person here in the hall, kind of, you know, spotting window or playing like an off angle. The other player would be here, and then this player would throw that flash. So run that setup. You don't have to have all 5, but you know, find that perfect flash here that blows up. I don't know the lineup here, but you know what I mean? Like right up here, and then you guys peek out. You just find that time you peek. So that'd be a good eco strat. I think also in gun rounds, you guys should throw like a crossfire. So one person plays here, and then the other person plays over here, crossfire. And then there's also, and then one person can watch window like right here, like this. And then if they fight mid, this guy can play out, swing out and fight. And then this player needs to be the one that watches hall like this. This would be a good crossfire setup. This is also really good if you don't have nades. If you just want to get like rifle armor, it's a good setup. So that's good crossfire. Another good setup too is you could do like a head stack right here. So on middle, like one person down here, another person head stack. You can get one kill and fall back. And then this player here could spot window from here. Or he could go from pit. And then watch window from pit in 1.6. So, and then he can also watch hall. But that'd be a good setup here. I also think I didn't see an op in AWP a single time. I think AWP is really strong on CT side Inferno, so try to pick up an op if you can. Also, a setup that I didn't really see was a hall setup. So sometimes you could have two people in the hall. So one person here, another person here, two people, and then you could kill this one guy and fall back. Then the other player could either be, you know, opping from mid or, you know, playing like pit or something. But I do like the setup here. So you throw in, you know, like one of these setups like this here, in the hall stack, you throw in this setup and you get an early pick on both those rounds. Now it's 5-on-4, which is really good on gun rounds. So you just want to be really unpredictable, and you want to throw in these kind of weird setups every now and then and catch them off guard. And then it makes them really uncomfortable, because in the match, you guys were just playing really passive every round. You guys didn't really, I know you guys tried to push alternate mid a couple times and that didn't work, but other than that, you guys just played really passively. You played back here, you played back in the sites, you gave them mid and window room for free. Also on eco rounds, I think you can play them two different ways. One is you play passive and one you play aggressive. So the example I showed you here would be aggressive, where you do a head stack and you just gamble, and then, you know, maybe one person gets a flash, you peek out, you find the timing, you kill one or two players, you get a gun, and now you reset. That would be an aggressive setup. Another aggressive setup is maybe you play like two players right here, head stack, so 1-2, and then a player has a flash over here, and then you just find a timing for, you know, flash here, and then you two peek out and then get a kill. And so that's aggressive. So all it takes is one flash and then, you know, a couple people peeking out, and you can find that timing. Another setups, like I said, is you could play passive. When you play passive, you really want to play angles where they have to fully commit themselves before they see you. So for example, if I'm fighting right here, this is not a good passive setup, and it's usually not that good of a shot. Whereas if you have one person here and then one person here, you have two people stacked. This is a weird off angle, plus you have two people shooting here, and it's you know, they're going to be fully committed. When they're coming out of here, they're like swinging out and you can fight. Whereas if you're right here, they see you, they could fall back. Or say if you're like back in the pit and you're over here, this is not a high percentage kill. And then they see you, now they're going to fall back. So you have to really pick angles like this where they have to be fully committed before you shoot them. So like right here, I mean, this one's okay, but I'd rather sit right here and make them cross this line, come all the way out here, and now he's exposed to the whole site. Whereas if you're sitting right here, then he can isolate you in a one-on-one. So do more head stacks, play more passive in the site. It's a gamble, you know, you're hoping that they come to your site, and if they do, at least you have good angles and you have crossfires and you have multiple people shooting at the same time. Okay, so to recap, do more head stack setups, do the crossfire setup, do a head stack setup one round. You know, you could even, you know, there's a box here, so you could boost up. So one guy go down here, and the other guy boost up, and you could do a crossfire here, kill the window guy, maybe kill one mid and fall back. You could do the stack here, double stack here. Yeah. And then, oh, what I talked about conditioning is like when you guys push mid and you guys smoke mid like this, they're gonna tell their teammates. But if you're throwing this smoke every round, like you say you throw this smoke first gun round, then you throw a second gun round, now they just think it's normal. But then the third gun round, you throw this smoke and then you push mid, that's when you catch them off guard. So that's how you condition your opponents. And then this first guy, you don't need to throw this flash. I think you just swing out. And those were good flashes here. So that timing was perfect. So as soon as you were peeking out window, that flash was popped, and then you have to run out and fully commit. And you have to go for the kill. There's gonna be multiple people there, so you just have to really pick one, kill one, and then do a recoil spray transfer. Okay, so on T side, I'll just talk about some things you need to do. So obviously a default, you need to be able to take banana control. So you need to make sure that they are not peeking this angle. So you need to push them back from this angle. Definitely need to push them back from this angle, right? But if they're holding this angle, they have a lot of info. So you need to push them back from this angle, and now they're going to have 2 in the sight. And then for default A, you need to push them back end of hall. You need to make sure they're not peeking down this angle. It's too much info. And then you need to clear window here. And then ideally, if you can clear mid. So you don't want them spotting here. You need to push them back from this angle. You need to make sure they're not crossfired in mid. So you need to take mid, push them back here, clear the crossfire, clear into hall, and now you have all that information A. Now you can, in that case, they're usually going to have 3A and then 2B. And now you could do whatever you want. You could fake, you could regroup A, you could regroup B, you could, squeeze B, you can smoke here, and then squeeze B. You have all those options. So that's what you need to do on Inferno, pretty much anytime you're going slow. And because if you don't push them back at all these angles, they have too much info and they can rotate and gamble. Sorry, not gamble, but they can over rotate and stack a site because they have info. All right, so hopefully that helps. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other match now.